Welcome to the Nation of History channel. Be sure to subscribe and like so you don't miss out on more videos like this one. The last summer of 1997 marked the final moments of Princess Diana, a globally admired figure who influenced media and fashion. Her loss on August 31, 1997, shocked the world, sparking debates about privacy and celebrity safety. The episode caused deep changes in the relationship between the press and public figures. Albina Malihočevar, wounded 3 times, served as a Slovenian partisan between 1941 and 1945 in the resistance against the German occupation. This period marked the mobilization of Yugoslav peoples for liberation, culminating in the end of World War II and the creation of Socialist Yugoslavia, which influenced Eastern European politics for decades. Former prisoners of the Dachau concentration camp react against an SS guard after years of abuse, showing the collapse of the German government on April 29, 1945. This episode illustrates the end of that extreme period in Europe and the advance of Allied forces, which ended one of the most traumatic phases of the 20th century. After a serious accident that nearly took her life in 1925, Frida Kahlo was confined to bed for long months, during which she painted intense works that reveal her strength and personal expression. By 1940, her art was already a symbol of female experience and Mexican cultural identity, influencing modernism. Sophia Loren, an icon of Italian cinema, attended press conferences in 1955, strengthening her global career in the post-World War II era. Her recognition helped project Italian culture worldwide, reflecting social changes and the growth of the entertainment industry in that decade. The National Guard action against protesters at Kent State University on May 4, 1970, marked a harsh episode in the opposition to the Vietnam War in the United States. 4 students lost their lives, causing national outrage and speeding up the debate over American involvement in the conflict, which affected public opinion. An affectionate gesture from a French girl to an American soldier in 1945 symbolizes the liberation of France during World War II after D-Day on June 6, 1944. This action represents civilian hope and gratitude at the end of the German occupation, marking the Allied advance in Europe. Security agents with modern weapons and equipment represent policing in the final decades of the 20th century, reflecting advances in crime fighting, especially in the United States. This evolution contributed to more effective strategies, increasing public safety and public trust. The hockey goalie without a mask illustrates the period before facial protection equipment became common, as seen in the 1966 photograph. This decade marked a crucial advance in sports safety, encouraging the required use of masks that reduced serious injuries and transformed the modern game. The vaccination campaign in England in 1939 marked an important advance in fighting childhood diseases by distributing effective and accessible medicine to children. This initiative helped reduce child mortality and improved public health at the time, preparing the country for future challenges. Mao Zedong enjoyed his retreat in Lushan in 1961, at a time when China was going through the difficult conditions of the Great Leap Forward, a campaign meant to speed up economic development. Despite negative results and shortages affecting the country, Mao continued to strengthen his image as a strong and present leader. Italian soldiers applied a chemical mixture to control malaria in 1945 during World War II efforts. This measure was a public health milestone because it helped reduce mosquito-borne illnesses, strengthening military and civilian resistance during the conflict. Lyndon Johnson signed the Civil Rights Act in 1964, a milestone that banned discrimination based on race, color, religion, sex, or national origin in the United States. This legislation transformed the fight for equality, guaranteeing civil rights and opening the way for essential social advances in America. Dr. Wernher von Braun, director of NASA's Marshall Space Flight Center, led the technological advances of the Saturn V rocket, essential for the Apollo 11 mission, scheduled for launch on July 16, 1969. This achievement culminated in humans reaching the moon on July 20th, a historic milestone in space exploration. United States Navy divers prepare the Apollo 15 command module to be loaded onto the USS Okinawa on August 7, 1972. This mission marked scientific advances, such as the use of the lunar rover, deepening knowledge about the moon and expanding human space exploration. Belka and Strelka were the first Soviet dogs to return alive from space orbit in 1960. This mission marked a crucial advance in space exploration, confirming that living beings could survive orbital travel, which opened the way for future crewed missions by the Soviet Union. Alan Shepard marked a historic advance on May 5, 1961, by becoming the first American to travel into space, pushing the United States forward in the space race against the Soviet Union. This achievement also intensified space exploration, culminating in the moon landing in 1969. Shepard opened the way for crewed missions and technological advances. The USS Shenandoah airship was completed in 1923 as the first to use pure hydrogen, representing an advance in United States naval aviation. Built at Naval Air Station Lakehurst, it became a technological milestone in aerial exploration and influenced later designs, despite its end in 1925. Francis Mellersh, a Royal Air Force pilot, appears during World War II in 1942 in England, reading Green Mantle by John Buchan while getting a haircut. This period marked the importance of the Allied effort to contain German expansion in Europe, making every moment of rest essential for soldiers. Austrian children received shoe donations during World War II amid shortages caused by the conflict that began in 1939. The distribution of footwear reflected humanitarian efforts in devastated regions, facing economic and logistical difficulties during one of the largest global conflicts in history. Brigitte Bardot stood out at the Cannes Film Festival at 19 years old in 1953, boosting post-war French cinema with her image and talent. This international celebration marked an important cultural advance for France, helping establish Cannes as a global reference among film festivals. Military clothing and a painted metal aircraft point to the 1950s, a Cold War period marked by technological advances in aviation, such as jet fighters with bubble-shaped canopies. These innovations were crucial for air superiority and military strategies. Pat Garrett was a well-known lawman and Texas Ranger, especially known for capturing the outlaw Billy the Kid. Active in the late 19th century, his actions marked the effort to control violence on the American frontier, reinforcing official authority during a turbulent period of United States expansion. In Weihai Wei, China, in 1922, a sword swallower poses for the camera, reflecting traditional popular entertainment practices before the intense cultural reforms of the 20th century. This city, under British control until 1930, reveals the coexistence of old customs and Western influences at the time. Ella Williams, known as Madame Aboma and called the Giantess, stood out in 1900 at 6 feet 10 inches tall, becoming a sensation in show business and variety performances. Her extraordinary height challenged social standards, showing the era's fascination with exceptional physical traits. World pole sitting championships attracted curious onlookers in Rolofarensveen in the Netherlands, testing physical endurance. On August 9, 1971, competitors faced long hours over the water in search of world records. The winner reached 92 straight hours in continuous competition. Franklin Delano Roosevelt celebrated his birthday in 1934 with a Roman-themed party symbolizing his power and resilience during the Great Depression. This decade marked his administration, important for implementing the New Deal, a set of reforms meant to revive the economy and provide social security for the country. Waterloo Station in London brought together early viewers in front of a television in 1936, marking the beginning of the era of electronic image broadcasting. This innovation transformed entertainment and communication, bringing people closer and influencing global culture through access to news and visual programs. The Benz patent motor wagon, created in 1886, marked the birth of the modern automobile, radically transforming transportation and industry. This motorized tricycle pushed the evolution of urban mobility and opened the way for manufacturers around the world. The invention influenced society and the global economy. The RMS Mauritania, considered the largest ship in the world in 1909, symbolized the peak of naval engineering at the time and advanced transatlantic passenger and cargo transport. Its construction in Liverpool highlighted the city's importance as an industrial and maritime center in the early 20th century. Workers make repairs on the Graf Zeppelin during a transatlantic crossing in the 1930s, when airships were symbols of aviation innovation. This period marked the exploration of commercial flight through the skies, consolidating advances before modern airplanes became popular and expanding global connections. Charlie Chaplin, an icon of silent film, is lifted by Douglas Fairbanks, a movie star, in New York in 1918. It was a period when the film industry was gaining strength as global entertainment, influencing culture and politics during World War I and establishing cinema as a social tool. Charlie Chaplin, an icon of silent film, appears in front of Federal Hall on Wall Street in 1918, a year when the United States was consolidating its economic influence after World War I. This period marked increased industrialization and deep social changes in the country. The recreation of the original Star Wars poster by Harrison Ford, Carrie Fisher, and Mark Hamill in 1977 marks the release of a cultural milestone that transformed science fiction cinema. This film, directed by George Lucas, established a franchise that would influence generations with its story and innovative visual effects. Salvador Dalí, the Spanish surrealist artist, is pictured in 1954 using his classic mustache as a paintbrush, a symbol of his eccentricity and unique creativity. This period consolidated the surrealist movement, which influenced modern art by freeing expression from traditional limits and expanding imagination. Dalí became a global cultural icon. The colorized photo shows Albert Einstein at 5 years old in Munich around 1884, during Imperial Germany, a period of fast scientific and industrial progress. This context prepared the ground for his future contributions to physics, culminating in the theory of relativity, which transformed modern science. Gina Lollobrigida, one of the greatest Italian actresses, achieved worldwide fame in the 1950s, a milestone of post-war cinema that spread European culture globally. Her impact helped raise the value of Italian cinema, influencing generations and establishing the country on the international cultural stage. Actor Sean Connery, photographed on May 24, 1965, represented the iconic James Bond, whose debut in Dr. No in 1962 marked a milestone in spy cinema, creating a standard for the genre and influencing global pop culture for decades. This era established his worldwide fame. King Frederick IX of Denmark, known for his strength and passion for sailing and weight training, showed his tattooed body in 1951, reflecting a modern and relaxed image of the monarchy at the time. His involvement with water sports helped popularize rowing and sailing in the country, promoting sportsmanship and national spirit. Suzanne Lenglen stood out in women's tennis by winning 8 Grand Slam titles and 3 medals in Antwerp, including 2 gold medals in 1920, an event that marked the return of the Olympic Games after World War I. Her success encouraged greater visibility for women's sports. The beach of Positano on Italy's Amalfi Coast in 1959 reflected the elegance of post-war European tourism. This iconic destination attracted celebrities and influenced beach fashion, contributing to the cultural and economic value of the Mediterranean coast, which remains a symbol of sophisticated leisure today. Disneyland employees in 1961 reflect the expansion of the park opened in 1955, a milestone of pop culture and tourism in the United States. The cafeteria symbolizes the growth of the leisure and entertainment industry, affecting social and economic habits in the post-war era and strengthening the Walt Disney brand globally. Teenagers in the 1950s listened to Hello Young Lovers on a portable record player, a symbol of the pop culture of the time. This song, released in 1951, reflected romance and post-war values. Access to music influenced youth identity and new habits of cultural consumption across the West. Goodyear tires with lighting highlighted technological advances in the United States auto industry in 1961, a period marked by innovation and futuristic design. This innovation reflected industrial growth and encouraged consumer culture tied to modernity in the post-war era, strengthening the United States as a global leader. The 1951 combination of television, radio, and cocktail set symbolizes technological innovation and post-World War II home comfort, when integrated devices transformed entertainment at home. That decade marked advances that popularized electronic appliances, influencing social and cultural habits. Automatic vinyl record vending machines appeared after the war, becoming popular in the 1950s and 1960s when music consumption became more accessible. This advance made musical culture easier to access, marking an era before digital formats and the arrival of the compact disc, transforming the record market. The 1905 Vauxhall Motor Hansom cab represents a milestone in the evolution of urban transportation by introducing the automobile into public service, replacing horse-drawn carriages. This innovation affected city mobility, speeding up the modernization of transportation and the movement of people in densely populated places. Car repair shops in the 1920s reflected limited working conditions before the creation of the Occupational Safety and Health Administration in 1971. This agency established basic safety standards, reducing incidents and promoting improvements in work environments across industrial and service sectors, expanding worker protection in the United States. The Chrysler Corporation stood out during World War II by adapting its production to the war effort, becoming an industrial milestone of the 1940s. This period boosted the American economy and accelerated technological innovation, reflecting the importance of automobile industries in the national war effort. The game at the Gem Saloon in Deadwood, South Dakota, portrays the lively atmosphere of the Old West in the late 19th century, when the town prospered during the gold rush. This period marked the height of saloons, which became social and economic centers, influencing American West culture and the transition into a new urban era. The windmill in Laramie, Wyoming, pictured in 1868, marks the advance of rural and railroad industries in the pioneering American West. This development was fundamental to economic expansion and the growth of settlements during the construction of the Transcontinental Railroad. Gold mining in Siskiyou County, California, attracted many workers in the 19th century, especially in places like the Oro Fino mine around 1885. This cycle boosted the region's economic and population growth, marking the expansion of the American Western frontier and the search for natural wealth. Residents of Eureka Springs, Arkansas, gathered in front of stores in 1880, reflect the economy and way of life typical of small-town America in the late 19th century. This period marked the development of small towns driven by local commerce, which was essential to rural expansion in the United States. Steamboats were essential for trade and transportation on the Mississippi River, especially in 1907, when industrialization was already driving development in the interior of the United States. These boats connected cities and moved farm products, strengthening the regional and national economy. A family in front of its summer home in Stockholm reflects Sweden's lifestyle in 1867. This era marked the rise of photography as a social record, capturing traditions that illustrate cultural and economic change before industrial modernization in the country. The text, "People Relaxing in the Sunshine" during June of 1922, reveals a leisure moment in June 1922, a period marked by post-World War I prosperity and social advances in the United States. That year represents the rise of urban culture and the increased use of automobiles, reflecting changes in lifestyle and mobility in modern society. Two Maltese women appear talking, wearing traditional clothing typical of the post-World War II period when Malta sought reconstruction and autonomy. In 1964, the island's independence marked the end of British rule, boosting appreciation for local culture and Mediterranean identity. Commerce in Middle Eastern cities in the early 20th century showed diverse cultural and economic influences, with banks such as the Palestina Bank strengthening international transactions, which boosted local urban development and the region's integration into the emerging global market. The image records a member of the Kuko tribe drinking from ostrich eggshells, used as containers in the Kalahari Desert, Southwest Africa, in 1955. At the time, the region faced South African colonial control that influenced traditional lives, reflecting cultural resilience amid outside domination. Men dressed in traditional Dutch clothing reflect the culture of the Netherlands in the early 20th century, when regional fashion expressed local identity. This period marked the preservation of cultural roots amid growing European industrialization and modernization, valuing popular traditions. A blind Japanese masseur called Amma uses a whistle and a cane, symbols of the traditional trade that goes back to 19th century Japan. In 1867, this work represented one of the few occupations available to visually impaired people, preserving an important cultural and social tradition in feudal Japan. The Maya zoomorphic stone shown highlights the artistic and religious richness of the Maya civilization, whose peak occurred between 250 and 900 AD. In the late 19th century, rediscoveries like this pushed archaeological studies that revealed the cultural complexity and advanced knowledge of this ancient American society. The historical sequence highlights decisive milestones such as the birth of Muhammad in 570, who founded Islam, and the coronation of Charlemagne in 800, which consolidated the Holy Roman Empire. The defeat of the Saracens at Tours in 732 stopped their expansion into Western Europe, shaping Europe's future. At 86 years old, the Queen Mother visited the Queen's Head pub in Stepney in 1987, a moment that shows the monarch in an informal setting, reflecting the royal family's closer connection with the public. This contact helped modernize the image of the British monarchy, strengthening its popularity amid the social changes of the time. The diagonal suspension machine, made of wood and metal, reflects the late 19th and early 20th century interest in health and physical rehabilitation techniques, when devices for stretching and muscle relaxation appeared. This period valued scientific methods for physical well-being, influencing modern medicine and physical therapy. The measuring of women's swimwear in 1925 reflects cultural changes in the post-World War I era, when shorter clothing and practicality marked the beginning of women's emancipation. This milestone showed progress in social customs, revealing greater freedom and autonomy for women in society and public spaces. The presence of vehicles and buses with designs from the 1950s and 1960s, along with the European urban setting and texts in Swedish and English, points to the post-World War II period, marked by Europe's reconstruction and the expansion of urban mobility. City modernization transformed social and economic life. Cars and clothing from the 1960s reveal a period of growing urbanization, marked by the expansion of Brazilian cities and the modernization of transportation. This phase was crucial for economic development, transforming the urban landscape and influencing everyday family life on tree-lined avenues with active commerce. An everyday action in New York in the 1920s expresses growing urbanization and the role of police in daily life. Around 1925, the image of an officer stopping traffic so a cat and her kitten could cross shows the human side of expanding cities, reflecting social changes in the post-World War I era. The 1910 photograph reveals an intimate portrait between mother and daughter, a sign of social change that was establishing new roles for women in the early 20th century. Women were beginning to participate more in education and public life, reflecting the gradual advance of women's rights that would culminate in suffrage in several countries. Grace Bradley, a leading Paramount Pictures actress in the 1930s, symbolizes the golden age of classic American cinema. During this period, star glamour and the expansion of the film industry laid the foundation for modern entertainment, influencing fashion, culture, and social standards that lasted for decades. Mr. and Mrs. Leslie Bryant lived in a trailer near Bath, Maine, in December 1940, a period of intense industrial growth caused by World War II. This increase in production transformed New England towns, boosting American mobility and adapting the home to a new economic and social reality. Workers taking a smoking break highlight daily life in bridge construction in 1950, a time marked by renewed industrial growth after World War II. This period pushed infrastructure modernization, making transportation and trade easier, which were essential for global economic development and regional integration. Niagara Falls, located on the border between the United States and Canada, froze during the harsh winter, forming an ice bridge in 1883. This natural phenomenon showed extreme weather conditions and attracted visitors, while the industrialization of the time turned the region into an important tourist destination. Pablo Picasso revolutionized modern art by moving from realism to cubism, especially starting in 1907, a milestone that transformed visual representation. His series of self-portraits, begun in 1896 and extending to 1972, reflects the evolution of his creative phases and the deep impact of this artistic movement. This path influences generations. The men's clothing, with hats and suits, points to the 1930s, a period marked by the Great Depression, which affected the global economy and transformed urban life. Restaurants, as indicated by the English text, became important social gathering places in cities during this economic crisis. The newspaper Hollywood Star-Gazette denounces the terrible cost of war, highlighting in its headline that the conflict is in very bad taste and criticizing the waste of military land. This message reflects the growing peace movement of the 1960s, influenced by the Vietnam War, which sparked an intense debate about the social and environmental impact of armed conflicts. A barker guides the crowd at a variety show at the State Fair in Donaldsonville, Louisiana in 1938, highlighting American popular culture during the Great Depression. This era placed strong value on live entertainment, creating accessible cultural spaces and strengthening community spirit amid the economic crisis. If you enjoyed this video and want to support the channel, please use the Super Thanks tool below. Your contribution helps us keep bringing you amazing historical content. Thank you so much for your support, and see you in the next video.